Okay, today I'm going to be changing spark plugs on a 96 Toyota T100 2.7 engine, and I already got started here. I already took off the air boot, air plenum housing, connects here and here to the air filter box. Mass airflow sensor is in here, and I just plugged it off to keep junk from going in there. I cleaned the throttle body with some carb cleaner. And then to take off that housing, there's a metal box here. I'll show you after I'm done. There's two 12mm bolts that go on the bottom here, and you kind of have to the extension and feel it blindly to get that socket on. And here's the boots. The spark plug wires. Just take them out, and then you put your have a big extension to go down in the hole. They're pretty deep in there. This is a 5/8 spark plug socket, and just go down and loosen it. And you got to be careful because you don't want to strip the aluminum head out. Just kind of do it carefully. And once you think you got it loose, you just pull it up, and the spark plug gets stuck in the socket because of the rubber inside. If you never used a spark plug socket before. And I believe it was number 3 spark plug, which is right here, which was this one, has some oil inside of it. Not so much in the spark plug electrode, but over here on the top. And that is from the spark plug tube seals in here. It's on the valve cover. Type of thing. You gotta take the valve cover off, and they're just round donut gaskets. I'll have to change those later on. You have to change the valve cover gasket as well. That'll be another video. So this is what that looks like. It's not that bad, but it's not gonna get better. Just gotta fix that eventually. So I'm doing a mini tune-up on here. So these are the old spark plugs, these two right here, and this is a new one. And I don't know if you could see, let me get these lined up better. You can see the gap on this one's shorter and this one's bigger, and I tested the gap on this. It's 40 thousandths, or about 42, when it should be around 32, so it's about 10 thousandths or millimeters, whatever they call it, to spaced out. And these have 30,000 on them, so it's time to change them anyway. So, and the engine's been running rough, so that's why I'm kind of doing this, and it's due anyway. So this, see how it's like a tan color, and that's what comes out in the video, but that's normal according to the book. And the tip kind of looks a little, the black tip in there looks a little worn. So it's time to change them. And these are Denso OEM ones, what are original to the engine. So this, I recommend just sticking with the original. Don't buy any snake oil ones with fancy whatever was original. Put the originals back in. Same brand. These ones are about 20 or 30 thousandths. They might need a little adjusting. I like this style of spark plug gap tool. It's pretty easy to do. You stick it in there and you kind of make it bigger if you need to. And if you got a dual tip or platinum plugs originally in the engine, I don't think you need to touch those, the gap on those. So what I'm going to do is put a little anti-seize on the threads, just a little bit. Scotty Kilmer says you don't really need to do that, but because it has a coating on it already. But I'm going to put a little on it. Dielectric grease on it, on the tip here. Keep the boot from sticking and keep it like good connection. Got a distributor cap. If you have an older engine or that has a distributor, it's a new cap. It's pretty cheap thing to do. And a new rotor And all these parts are made in Japan, so they're all good. The distributor cap comes off with 3 8mm bolts, one on each side here, and then one at the bottom. This comes out, and you just, there's the rotor cap, you just pull it off and leave it in the same position that it is, pull it out, and you put the new one on the same position that the old one was on. That's all you got to do. There's just a few hoses you got to take off the clamp here off that air plenum, and a couple of these brackets that hold these throttle cables in and such. So I just got to put those back on, and you know, whatever came with your engine, that's good enough, because I was getting sticker gas mileage with these. So if you drive, you know, like an old man, you'll get sticker gas mileage. So all that stuff is a bunch of snake oil. And so I'm just gonna kind of put new spark plugs in, and what you do, you just stick it in there, and this spark plug socket will hold it in, and you just go down and do it by hand gently, and I'll show how to do that. And just put a little anti-seize on them, just a little bit. You're gonna need to gob it on. And then I'll put some tune-up grease, or dielectric grease is what it's called. And I gapped them, the spark plugs, to 32 thousandths. And what you do to either look it up in the manual, or the manufacturer's website, or Rock Auto might tell you as well, per your engine, what the gap should be. So these were, I don't know, like 28 thousandths. They should be 32. Part number, that K16 for this engine anyway, the 2.7, which is in a lot of 4Runners and Tacomas. That's that. And I'm just going to put them in, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I just took the boot out of the hole there. I keep the boots in so I keep track of where they go. On this one, it's pretty easy. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. They're numbered. These are OEM wire set, so they're nice. They're worth the extra cost because they're really well made. They got silicone at the tips, and they're all numbered, and they're really well made. So, but you don't need to change spark plug wires all the time. These are a few years old. They're still good. So basically, you just stick the spark plug in the spark plug socket, and it holds it. And I took out the ratchet, and I'm just gonna stick it in the hole, and I put dielectric grease on the top, at the top tip right there. And what I do, I just stick it in the hole, then I do it by hand. You feel it. You do it gently so you don't strip it. And I do that for the whole set. Once you get it kind of snug with your hand, then you put the ratchet on, and you do it just a little snug. You don't need to get it super tight, because they have a crush washer on them built in right there, and you don't need to get them super tight. Just slightly snug, because you don't want to mess up the aluminum head, because aluminum's pretty delicate, and you don't need to get it that tight. Let's do that for the whole series, and I'll show the rest. And for the rotor cap, that's the new one, and here's the old one. To get it off, it's kind of snug. You kind of need a screwdriver to gently pry it off, being careful not to break the distributor plastic housing here, and just got to gently take it off until you pry it out, till you get your hand, get a good grip on it, and then pull it out. Then you just put the new one on the same direction that the old one was on. And now next I'm just going to screw on the new cap. Okay, what I did was, on the old one here, just take one wire off at a time. You're gonna unlatch the prong with a pocket screwdriver, then you just pull it off, and just do one at a time, put it on the new one. Pretty much that's it. Slide it on like that, and 3 8mm bolts on it. Kind of do it slightly snug, and let's put all the air plenum back on, and all the hoses and brackets. and I'll show you the rest. Okay, got it all done. The rotor cap's on, the wires are on, wire plugs are in, pushed them all the way down. This air plenum housing with this metal thing that I was talking about, with the two 12mm bolts underneath. Those were kind of hard to do to get started. Do them by hand, kind of feel it blindly under there. There's two of them, and just kind of take it up as one piece from here all the way to here at the throttle body. And there's just a hose here on it, and you got to take this bracket off. This bracket is in your way, 12 mils. This vacuum hose here from the fuel pressure regulator, and just make sure you got everything that you took off back on. Everything's snug. That's about it. Let's see, let's start it up. That's just because of I cleaned the throttle body. I had some carb cleaner down in the intake. 210,000. Gonna take it for a spin.